Hello and welcome to a quick demonstration of the Eye on the Reef Sightings app. You can recognize the app by the outline of an eye in the shape of a fish. Let's go ahead and click on the app. Straight away you can see it's a very basic system. There's no difficulties in using this app. Let's go right ahead and add a sighting. It's got the date, the time, location, and two options, wildlife or incident. Now at the moment I'm doing this video indoors, so it's having a hard time acquiring a satellite block for GPS. Don't worry, it's not important right now. Let's go ahead and make a wildlife sighting. There are over 200 species in the Sightings app, and there's always options to record other. Let's go and have a look at invertebrates. In the invertebrate list we have some pretty large groups, and we're going to make a recording of a starfish we saw out on the reef. So here's our options with, as I mentioned, the other, if it's not a species that you can see in the list. Now we're going to make a sighting of a very important sea star, the crown of thorns. So let's go ahead and click on that. Now in the more information, click on that. We can see all sorts of facts and interesting things about this species, and this is the same for all species included in the app. So it's a great little learning exercise as well. Anyway, let's go back to the sighting. At the moment, the crown of thorns entry looks like this. But by the time you're watching this video, it's probably changed quite significantly. As you know, crown of thorns are a significant impact on the Great Barrier Reef, and we're tweaking the app to include size classes and how long you spent looking for them. Anyway, it'll become obvious when you see it. For now, let's just go ahead and demonstrate how the app itself works. We're going to put in a number seen, quite a few on this occasion, and we're going to say what the biggest size was. And we're going to say done. Now, before we say done down the very bottom there, you can see there's two other options. One is a notepad, so you can put in a message or ancillary information. So we're going to say we seen whilst spearfishing. That gives us an indication that you were snorkeling. Okay, done. Now the other option is a little picture of a camera, which brings up two choices. You can use the camera on your mobile device to take a photo of something, pretty useful if it's on a beach or it's floating on the surface, but perhaps not so useful if you're underwater. Actually, many cameras these days have Wi-Fi capability, and in this case I've been using my underwater camera and I've been taking photos of all sorts of critters underwater. Let's see if we can find a picture of a crown of thorns. Lovely. Now you can crop just to get the right angle. Very good. And we're going to say choose. So now that's included. We're going to say done at this stage. And note that we still can't get a GPS because we're inside. This is a very important point. You don't actually have to do the sighting right there and then out on the reef. It's probably the best way because you're using your phone's GPS to get an accurate position of where you made that sighting. However, if you're too busy or you don't remember until you get home, this is what you do. Click on location and you see it brings up some options. Down the very bottom there you have a little arrow, a recycle arrow, and a picture of a folded sheet. The little blue arrow says follow me. That is, it's always trying to update your position using your phone's GPS. Well, that's not working on this occasion because we're inside. We're at home, having dinner, and you decided you wanted to make a sighting that you saw today out the reef. Let's just turn that off. Okay. Now click on the little folded paper. That is a map. So, using the map, which you can zoom in and brings you up some fairly detailed outlines of reefs, you can hold your finger down on the pin for a moment. It becomes live and you can move the pin. Let's zoom in a bit further to get a bit more detail. And we're going to say that we saw this crown of thorns, a whole bunch of crown of thorns. Yeah, actually it was a little bit around the corner. It was about over here somewhere. Yeah, pretty much there. And we're going to say done. Alright, so we've got a date, a time, we've decided that we've seen some crown of thorns, we've added a note, we've even included a picture, which is gold, and we've given a fairly accurate representation of where that was. Let's go ahead and say done. Okay, so at this stage we can create the sighting. It's important to note that the GPS position given to the grumper is accurate, but the GPS position or location represented on the public web portal is not. So that is, if you go to a site that you want to keep secret, but you saw something there you really want to report, rest assured that the data you send in to the grumper will be accurate, but the public will see a error or dithered version of where you saw your sighting. Your safe, secret spots are safe from everyone else. So let's go ahead and create that sighting. Now, one last thing. What we're trying to do is encourage everyone to be a citizen out on the water and report sightings. So if you want to get a bit of competition started with your mates, share it to Facebook. People can see what you're seeing, and perhaps they've got one better than you. Anyway, let's say on this occasion we're not going to share on Facebook. Anyway, crown of thorns don't get made public. That is, the sightings made of crown of thorns is classed as an incident and doesn't go on the public web portal. Let's go ahead and say finish. So, we haven't signed in yet, and there's a number of ways you can sign in. You can sign in manually on the top there, or you can sign in with Facebook. Just because you're signing in with Facebook doesn't necessarily mean that your sighting is going to be on your Facebook page. You've already said no to sharing on Facebook, so rest assured that signing in with Facebook doesn't mean that your sighting will suddenly be put on your Facebook page. But certainly for sightings that you do want to get into a competitive situation with your mates, it's a great idea. People can see all sorts of things that you're seeing out in the reef, and they might decide to do one better than you. So let's give the app some time to talk to the Facebook website and sign in, and we'll tell you about one last thing. And that is that sightings that you make are queued. They're not sent directly. This is very important when you're out of range. The app works perfectly out of range. All it needs is the app itself and the GPS. So once you're back in range, any sightings you've made at sea can be queued and sent in. So you can go out to sea for a week or two, and eventually come back to shore. Your upload might have a very large number instead of one, but let's go ahead and click on it. There it is. Have a look at it. Yep, that's all right. I remember doing that one a week ago. And you can say upload the sightings down the bottom there. Now, because it's a dummy, I'm going to go edit and go, no, that was just a test. I'm going to delete it. Cool. Well, that's a brief rundown of the Sightings Network. I hope that all makes sense to you. Thanks for watching.